So even after last week's failed Screaming at the Sky event to protest Donald Trump's election, the emotionally wounded can't move on. Here's Maxine Waters leading an Impeach 45 chant at the virtue signaling sob fest that is Glamour's Women of the Year Awards. Not invited.
Impeach him! Impeach him! Impeach 45! Impeach 45! I didn't hear you. Impeach 45! Thank you.
Adorable. It's their lock her up. Anyway, sullen Democrats are introducing new articles of impeachment. Gutierrez, Cohen, Green, Espaillat, the four crybabies of the apocalypse. They want Trump gone, but they can't exactly say on what grounds. Can you impeach based on hurt feelings? Poor guys, they need help. Here's a solution. A new anti-Trump hotel is opening in D.C. It's called Eaton Workshop. Sounds depressing, like a prison yoga class. The place is built around liberal activism and civic engagement. It's supposed to foster a culture of inclusion, of course, without the right. How diverse. There will be fireside chats, lectures, organic mattresses, and something called sound baths. I don't know, maybe a real bath might be better. Look, I don't know if the world's first politically motivated hotel is a good idea. I put bars on the windows on the higher floors because I jump. Seriously, feeding more leftist identity politics to people already full of such division can't be good. Unless, of course, you're not staying at that hotel, but somewhere else, like here. Come on, even a lefty would take that over an organic mattress any day. All right, we don't have much time.
That hotel's fantastic.
I've stayed there myself for a speech.
And they always watch Fox down in the bar, downstairs in the big lobby. So beautiful. They have Fox.
Giant strips of bacon on sticks.
Remember that?
Oh, fantastic.
Oh,
yes.
Love it.
All right, Juan, you love the Trump Hotel. You say it's the only place you stay when you're in D.C.
He has lunch there.
Yeah, and you actually live in D.C., but you prefer the Trump Hotel.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Tell my wife.
Now she knows.
Really. I will say this. It's a matter of division among Democrats because you have the liberal activists who want it, and you have people who say, hey, wait a second, what about health care? What about wages? We think that's the basis for running in 18. Don't get distracted. But the fact is, 40% of voters right now favor impeachment, 75% of Democrats and independents.
Very selfish, because that'll hurt the country, Jesse.
I don't believe that poll that Juan just cited. I think that's from the
Fake
Daily
news.
Kos. Isn't every hotel in D.C. the anti-Trump hotel? Come on, let's be honest.
How is this a unique, novel idea?
I know. And Maxine Waters, no relation, is the gift that keeps on giving. Because screeching about impeaching it maybe helps raise money, but it's not going to help you win back the House because there's no justification, so it looks kooky. And it's only going to fire up Republicans. And it's hard to impeach someone when the economy is doing so well. Just ask Bill Clinton.
I think it's a political, building on what you were saying, it's a political miscalculation to call for impeachment, especially now preemptively, meaning before there's any, wait for the Mueller investigation to conclude and have some evidence, right, to come to the fore before you start calling for impeachment, because nothing will rally the Trump base for the 2018 like these calls for impeachment. So I think as a political strategy, it's just not smart.
All right. Well, you know what else isn't smart?
Don't say me.
No, I wouldn't say that. Leaving before one more thing.
This is a Fox News Alert. I'm Brett Baer in Washington. The president's daughter, Ivanka Trump, tells reporters tonight about Alabama Senate candidate Roy Moore. Quote, there's a special place in hell for people who prey on children, adding that she's seen no reason to doubt the victims' accounts so far. While some high-profile previous supporters of Moore appear to be bailing or preparing to in the wake of allegations about past sexual conduct, Moore is standing firm and hitting back. His legal team promising challenges, even calling in handwriting experts. Correspondent Jonathan Seri is following the story tonight from Gadsden, Alabama. Good evening, Jonathan.
Hi, Brett. Well, just moments ago, the Moore campaign held a news conference during which they attempted to poke holes in the testimony of his latest accuser. A lawyer with the campaign said Beverly Young Nelson's claim that she never had contact with Moore after the alleged assault in 1977 actually had a 1999 divorce case that was assigned to Judge Moore. The lawyer also referred to the yearbook Moore had allegedly signed when Nelson was a teenager. He said the DA after Moore's signature did not refer to district attorney. Moore was actually an assistant DA at the time, but were the initials of Moore's assistant, and that the signature in the yearbook was a copy of the stamp the assistant had used on the divorce documents. Now, this is just the latest chapter in a roller coaster campaign for Alabama's Senate seat.
Obviously, I've made a few people mad.
At a church revival in Jackson, Alabama, Senate candidate Roy Moore joked about his opposition.
I'm the only one that can unite Democrats and Republicans. Because I seem to be opposed by both.
I thought that he was going to rape me.
As allegations of sexual impropriety increase, Moore faces mounting calls from members of both houses of Congress to drop out of the race.
Number one, these allegations are credible. Number two, he should, if he cares about the values and the people he claims to care about, then he should step aside.
Politico reports President Trump, while traveling in Asia last week, received an urgent call from Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, asking for his help to push Moore out of the contest.
So I think it's safe to say that if he were to be sworn in, he would immediately be in a process before the Senate Ethics Committee.
The growing skepticism surrounding Moore has spread from the halls of Congress to conservative commentators.
For me, the judge has 24 hours.
During his Tuesday night show, Sean Hannity gave the candidate 24 hours to clear up what he described as inconsistencies in his denials of inappropriate contact with teenage girls when he was in his 30s.
You must remove any doubt. If he can't do this, then Judge Moore needs to get out of this race.
And the Daily Beast reports former Trump strategist and early Moore supporter Steve Bannon is having second thoughts about Moore. Citing a source close to Bannon, the article states, late last week, the Breitbart chairman said, "I will put him in a grave myself if he determines that Moore was lying to him about numerous accusations." Moore has been firing back with a series of tweets, including this one saying, Mitch McConnell is attempting to subvert the will of Alabamians yet again, this time helping to elect a far-left Democrat. Moore is referring to his Democratic challenger, Doug Jones, who's released a new political ad reaching out to Republicans disillusioned by all the controversy surrounding their nominee.
I'm a Republican, but Roy Moore, no way.
Despite the National Party's opposition to Moore, GOP leaders in Alabama's 5th congressional district adopted a resolution affirming their support for Moore and calling on their state counterparts to do the same. The steering committee of the Alabama State Republican Party is scheduled to meet this evening. Brett?
Jonathan Terry in Alabama tonight. Jonathan, thank you. A federal judge is blocking the Trump administration from withholding a major grant that pays for public safety equipment in Philadelphia. The Justice Department has threatened to cut off millions of dollars to cities that refuse to cooperate with the federal immigration law. But the judge says he weighed the public interest and possible harm that could come from withholding those funds. The Justice Department says it is still reviewing the ruling again on sanctuary cities. We're learning new details tonight about congressional testimony from the co-founder of Fusion GPS, the research firm behind the opposition research now simply called the dossier on then-candidate Donald Trump. Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Herridge is here with that story. Good evening, Catherine.
Thank you, Brett. A source familiar with the matter tells Fox News that the co-founder of Fusion GPS, Glenn Simpson, refused to answer key questions about the DNC Clinton campaign and law firm Perkins Coie that financed the dossier, as well as Simpson's relationship with journalists. While former British spy Christopher Steele was paid to gather research, Simpson told House investigators he never spoke to the underlying sources, never traveled to Russia, and did not verify the dossier beyond comparing the claims, to public media reports. A senior committee Republican cast doubt on the dossier's credibility after the session, while Simpson's lawyer said the research is solid.
This experienced British intelligence official came back with a report that now, in hindsight, looks quite accurate.
The threshold for whether or not you believe something is true is not real high when you're writing an Oppo research piece. It's really high in court.
The source said Simpson told investigators he was, quote, upset when then FBI Director James Comey reopened the Clinton email investigation in late October 2016, and Simpson pushed back by sharing dossier allegations with reporters. As Fox News first reported, Simpson was with the Russian lawyer Natalia Veselnitskaya before and after the June 9, 2016 Trump Tower meeting with the president's son, among others. Simpson's lawyer said his client was blindsided.
Indeed, he was shocked and surprised when this matter appeared in the newspapers and the news media this summer.
Simpson's lawyer also denied Fusion GPS paid journalists to write favorable stories about its clients, though the parties were back in court today with Fusion GPS trying to block TD Bank from releasing its financials to the same House committee. Brett.
Thank you, Catherine.
You're welcome.